This video is a sneak peek for the next big update to the game, also known as the nightly build. As usual, I need to emphasize that this is a video game and not real cybersecurity. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I have recently set up a Discord server, link is in the description. The first thing you might notice is that the background is different. This is because you can now change the wallpaper in the game. The way you do this is by going into Preferences, Appearances, and then here you can see the desktop wallpapers and you can select which one you want. We have all the default wallpapers here. Then I've added some of my own down here. The way you will add these currently is by going into the game folder in app data, and in there is now a wallpaper folder, and by putting the images you like into that folder and using the JPG format, the images will then show up here and you can select which one you want and they will be applied to the background like you can see here. So that's one of the changes that you can expect in this next update in the nightly build. Then we have some new file formats. So the first one is the PDF format, and what this allows us to do is to open well, there is a PDF reader and it allows us to open these PDF files and we can read them. Sometimes they contain lore or story, and sometimes they are associated with some kind of mission that you can find and solve. That's the PDFs. Then we have images, and just like PDFs, these files are scattered randomly on the procedurally generated networks, and they're essentially just pixelated images that you can find. Some of the images you find will also be associated with different hidden missions that you can come across. Then we have chat logs. Of course, the images also come with an image viewer, so that's how you will be able to open these image files. Then we have the log viewer, which is actually just the log viewer we already have, but it can now open these chat logs as well. And sometimes these chat logs will give you some information about the game world, just like the PDF. The way this is told is by showing you conversations between NPCs on the computer. But you can also find log files that have some interesting information in them, and these log files are associated with hidden missions, just like images and PDFs can be. In this case, it's pointing you towards an IP, and by investigating this IP, you can complete one of these hidden missions. These hidden missions are fairly rare, so the idea is that you will be playing the game and exploring, and then once in a while you will stumble across these hidden missions, and you can explore and find out what happens in the different scenarios and stories. And at the end of these missions, it's quite common that you will be able to select the white hat or the black hat choice. So you will either be able to report them to the authorities, or you will be able to perhaps extort them or something like that. And that brings us into another change, which is the updated mail program. So the new, you can see here, the layout has changed. The mail is getting an update, and if we check here inside of the create a new email, we can see that it's very clearly now how the social engineering works. In nice categories like this, and at the bottom we have two new categories. So either you can try some kind of stuff with this by collecting information in these missions and emailing, or you have this other option where you can send files that are associated with different cases that you come across. In addition to this, you can also, let's see here, we'll open a browser and close these for now. And there's also a new website, which is the police website. And on here, there is a reports tab. And this allows you to do the right thing when it comes to these missions. You can report them to the authorities instead of trying to abuse the situation. And essentially what you do is you give the IP and you attach some kind of file that is evidence for the altercation that has occurred. And all of this is then tracked, your progress is tracked by the karma system. So essentially what happens is that when you make these choices, either for the white side or the black side, your karma will either increase or decrease. And this will have certain effects in-game. I don't think it's very fleshed out at the moment, but more stuff will of course be added to this as time goes on. So that's how the new karma system works. Then on this new website we also have a jobs folder, tab, and in this tab there are 2 new missions. So we can either try to find evidence or try to track somebody down. And so these are 2 new missions that are associated here, and these I think will give you the white reputation or white karma. Then if we go into the this shop right here, we can see in the jobs that there are also, I think, 2 missions added here as well, or 2 new types of missions. So we have the get remote file, which is a mission where you're supposed to find a file and give it to them, the person who has put up the mission. And then we have the find and delete file. So pretty much the same thing, but in this case you're going to be deleting the file instead of just downloading it and sending it. So those are the new mission types. And then there's also, like I said, hidden missions. So when you are out exploring, you will occasionally come across these hidden missions, and you will be able to find out different things about the game world. There's also lore within these hidden missions. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. What I want to mention is that the game or this nightly build is currently only available. It's only in private at the moment, so it's not available to everyone. And once the major things have been fixed, it will be made available to the debuggers so that we can do some more extensive testing. And then once the that testing is completed, the nightly build will be published to everyone so everyone can test it together. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.